So, joining us on our latest very special episode is a actor of such iconic movies as Adventures in Babysitting, Hiding Out,
Yeah.
Toy Soldiers, Don't
Yes.
Tell Mum, The Babysitter's Dead. Yes, love the t-shirt.
Don't tell mom, rock and roll.
He always knows when the dishes are done. It's Mr. Keith Coogan.
Mm,
Yeah.
that is a great intro. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh no, this is amazing. Yeah, I've got to say first up before I forget, my wife's a massive babysitting fan, like Adventures in Babysitting. So if you could just say hello to my wife Gemma, and then that we can move on.
Gemma.
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 Yeah, Gemma. Yeah.
Gemma. Hi, it is Keith Coogan, Brad from Adventures in Babysitting, Kenny from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitters. Sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you tonight. Perhaps someday we're gonna come over to UK and hopefully soon. But we'll be back. We were there a little while ago. But really, there's really only one thing to say. Dishes are done.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah, she'll be so chuffed that I've got it in there. She said it before I left today, so I'm happy now. So I've got that in. So yeah, if it's okay with you, I'd start from the beginning. To be fair, like because there's so much to fit in. You've had such a crazy career, really. Like you've got a famous grandfather, so Jackie Coogan. Yeah, the famous Uncle Fester in the Addams Family series. So what were you actually like growing up around that, like at the height of that fame?
I think we started seeing them more when I was about 8. So I had been doing commercials and TV shows, uh, what my family called jump and shout. Just jump on your mark, shout your lines. There's no acting involved. You're a flesh prop. You're a kid in a TV show. Nobody pays attention to the kid. Um, and I'd heard stories in the household like, oh, your grandpa silent movies and, Addams Family. I'm like, we were living in Malibu. Granted, it was, we started very modestly. It was just me and single mother, and in a converted tennis change room.
Wow.
She was a 15-year-old pregnant Catholic school girl runaway that got married, and then I was born, and then she got divorced, and then it was me and my 16-year-old mother, basically. And then by the time I was 5, I had expressed an interest. I was like, I want to be on TV, and she's figured it must be in the DNA, it must be in the blood, because we weren't even really seeing my grandfather a lot.
Okay.
A lot more. By at about 8, they started spending summers with us, and so there I'd hear stories. He taught me how to play chess, and we spent the summers together until he passed in '84, and I got to see more of his work. Something. Oh, a Lucy show would be on TV, or a rerun of Wild Wild West or something. And we'll be like, oh, there's Jack. And I really appreciated the Addams Family. The kid is locked in this time vault of a masterpiece. It's one of the, I'm very proud that it is consistently in the top 100 best movies of all time. It's still a silent movie made, 106 years ago. So it is, I was aware of that, but I also thought they were full of it. I don't know what your ratings are on your podcast and what I can and can't say.
Say whatever you need to say.
So I thought he was full of shit. A lot of adults are full of shit. And they all blah, 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 talk. Oh, yeah. The crowd got so big they had to lift your car on their shoulders to get, yeah, right, Grandpa. And then years later, the internet came along and I see all the news articles and the newsreels. I'm like, oh shit. He wasn't lying at all. He used to be braggy, though, and he felt he earned it because he didn't get the money. So he goes, well, if I didn't get the money, at least give me the bragging rights. So he was the world's first film child star. And then he was also the world's first former child star.
Right.
And the drinking and the women and he went through a series of showgirls. I learned later they only talked about the first wife and then my grandmother, the fourth wife. So first wife was Betty Grable, and then Toby Wing, and then he married Maureen McCormack, and then my grandmother, Dorothea Lamphere, who we called Dodie. So it was Jack and Dodie. They became as a package. And they'd retired to Palm Springs, so it's a short little drive from LA. It was way too hot in Palm Springs for the summers and too expensive to just run the air conditioning all day. So that's why they would spend the summers with us, and I really appreciated it because I got to spend. I wish I'd got more time to spend with it.
Oh, that's. I mean, so you're saying as you were started acting in the TV stuff as a kid, and did he have much of an influence as you're getting more into the acting?
He
Like,
was he did not. My whole family were entertainers, so
yeah,
anytime I did anything, they always had notes. Oh, you should have done this. You should have done that. I'm like, we're watching it on TV now. It's too
yeah,
late. I'm like, coulda, woulda. And I guess their point was that as a performer, you can't really be happy with your work. You got to always keep like, oh, I could have done the bit better or just a little sooner. And you try to remember that the next time you get an opportunity to entertain people. It is a craft. That's what I learned from them the most was it is a job. It is a career. It's a trade craft. Some people just have it, and some people really have to work at it and learn it. And all parties need a big fat ball of luck. Just the right producer that he's cute. I didn't piss on the furniture. Hire him, and then you work for them again, and then you do a series for them, and so that kind of thing kind of helped me build a little TV career
yeah.
uh, in my single digits.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I mean, you did some insane early stuff, like some of the TV shows, iconic TV shows. Like, I bet even back, I bet you only probably appreciate them now, like as you've got older. But
Oh,
you know,
I appreciated them when I was doing them. A lot of that stuff was stuff that kids would watch. I
yeah,
watched half of those shows, so I was
ah,
very, very happy to be on them.
oh, 100%. So, is it right? Your first movie was Sticking Together in 1978. That was
That was a
filmed.
made-for-television movie.
Yeah.
So we called it an MOW, movie of the week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's an MOW. Oh, I booked a movie. And in our business, there's a hierarchy.
Okay.
There's commercials and then sitcoms and then hour dramas and then movies of the week, after school specials, and then direct to video and then theatrical and then big budget and then A list. Like there's tiers and everyone knows
All
their place and just sit at the right table and nobody gets into a fight.
right. So, because that was filmed in Hawaii, weren't it? Was that right?
It
Like,
was entirely on location in Oahu. We did the pilot. We did I want to say an hour long pilot for the series. And we went and we shot for a month, and it had Klug Gulager, a legendary method actor, and he had been a part of my one of my other first jobs, which was A Question of Love, and it co-starred Gina, uh, 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 Jane Alexander, Jenna Rollins, and Klug Gulager. And they
all
all three are method actors. I'm 6 or 7 years old when I first started working with them. And I'd been doing commercials for cereal. So I knew how to like hit my mark and hold the product and like,
right.
drink the thing. And they're telling me like, nah, I'm like, you guys are doing it different every single time. And they're like, well, it's a different time. It's not 5 minutes ago. We're
Yeah.
different. We've learned something. We've done the scene now and we've learned something and we're going to do it different now. And I'm like, oh. And they taught me to just don't be different between rolling the camera and not rolling the camera. And that's maybe a little too profound for a 7-year-old, but I got
Yeah.
it. And I knew that I wasn't striving for that. My grandfather had warned me. He goes, you never want to get hot because then you can go cold. He goes, you just be a character actor and just be warm, just medium. You work forever. And I'm grateful. I worked for 50 years in Screen Actors Guild.
Wow, that's amazing. And I mean, you never look back, to be fair. So going up to like
Oh,
1981, like that's what was it? The Fox and Hound for Disney.
yes.
Yeah. So what was it like? As so how old was you then? Like 11, was it? Like
I was when it came out, and there were production issues, so it was kind of delayed coming out. We started it, and I auditioned for it in 1978. So I was
wow.
8 years old, and I don't remember the audition. My mother, I've talked to her. She was with me for most, driving me around to all the auditions and at set and watching me and stuff. And she goes, "No, it was just another call, but it was just voice only." I was like, "All right." And I always had a raspy kind of kid. Sounds like he's been yelling at everybody all day, out on the playground. No, throw the ball now. Like my voice just always sounded a little hoarse,
Yeah.
and it suited the little cute little fox. And I'm so proud of that because it was the last classically animated Disney movie, and it's in the little black diamond label. And it wasn't in the first release of that. They just cut it off right before it, but then from the second release on, they included Fox and a Hound in the classics. So very proud about that.
Yeah. I'd like to say any animation for Disney, like that's it. You're down in history, then, aren't you? So massive that.
I,
So obviously, then that takes you into Adventures in Babysitting. Like so, which it was Touchstone Pictures. So that was another Disney company. Is that right?
Disney,
Yes.
exactly.
So
I had
did
done the TV series of the Apple Dumpling Gang. It was called Gun Shy. We'd also done a pilot, and then both Gun Shy and the Hawaii show. We did a pilot, and then we did 6 episodes. Really, just to see, put it on, and
yeah. So
of television. And sometimes uh, creators make mistakes. I was also in Super Train, which was almost bankrupted NBC. It is a two-story nuclear train that has a swimming pool and a beauty parlor and a discotheque and elevators in it. And it was they were like going to do a murder mystery show
uh,
on a train, like a wagon train thing, where different guest stars every week. But it was an opportunity to work with Dick Van Dyke,
wow.
who I ended up working with again on a actual special, The Wrong Way Kid, where he played my father and a librarian and a 200-year-old bookworm animated, and he all three parts. And then I worked with Dick on Diagnosis Murder,
Yeah.
and by this time they're shooting him out. They're shooting everything they can, and then they're like, "All right, it's 2 o'clock. Dick's about to get here." And they set up a mark, and he walks in. They're rolling. This is all right. Go, go, go. And they walk in, hit his mark, say his lines, do his thing, cut. Good night, Dick. And they put him in a car and they sent him home. So I had a chance for a second. I go, "Hey, Dick, this happens to be the third time we've worked together. It's this one and then this project." Dick Van Dyke goes, "I don't remember any of that."
Oh, gutted, did I? Yeah. Oh
So
no.
Adventures of Babysitting, Disney, we'd had, I'd done Spooner. Uh, did I do that after? Maybe I did Spooner after. Um, and then eventually Cheetah and In the Army Now, which is Hollywood Pictures, which is all Disney.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, they are wonderful to me. They're one of my largest employers. Thank you, Walt Disney.
Yeah, I gotta say,
My family said you want to get it good with Disney because they, the country gives birth to a new generation of fans every 5 years. All the kids are going to start with Bambi and Snow White, and they're going to get up to Fox and the Hound, cry their eyes out, and it'll scar them for life, and they'll always remember Fox and the Hound.
yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I mean, like, so I mentioned in babysitting. I never realized. So, it was filmed in Canada and Chicago. Like, so,
Hmm.
yeah. So that's and Chris Columbus was it? It was his first movie. Like,
It was
so,
his first movie. It was produced by Deborah Hill and Linda Obst, and they had produced Fisher King, and Linda Obst had produced Interstellar, and Deborah Hill had produced Halloween and The
how did
Fog,
that?
and
How did that come
so
about?
so
So,
it came about that Paramount had the movie, and it wound up at Disney because a lot of executives had gone, whatever. Another writer tells it better, David Simpkins, who wrote it. He knows all the politics and where the script, because the scripts bounce around for years before they're made. And it
Right.
was a hot script, and different actresses were attached to it. And oh man, but my attention span shot right out. And they it wound up over at Disney, and it was part of the Touchstone Pictures, where the budgets are very strict.
Right.
And it was Chris Columbus's first big picture. Oh, so when they go produce it at Disney, they go, ah, they're doing Stakeout and Ruthless People, and Splash is a great example of of the Touchstone Pictures lines. They were all rated PG kind of stuff, and they go, well, who produced the most successful movie about a babysitter? And they went, Deborah Hill, Halloween. Produced it on like a $200,000 budget. And the thing's made like $40 million. Like, that was the single most successful uh, low budget film at the time. It wasn't truly independent, but it was. So that, and there was a spirit of that, of going, we need resources. They don't go nuts, but it's what I like to call rolling thunder. When you see a film crew and there's a grip truck, an electric truck, a prop truck, art department, wardrobe, hair, makeup, all the trailers, all the crew cars, all the extras and stuff, and building sets. We shot 2 months in Toronto,
Yeah.
doubling as Chicago, and all the interior sets were built in a warehouse near the Cronenberg Alley. There's a shot where they get in the Cadillac to run over the kids right when they're like, get in the car and run them over. So they get in the car and they go to run them over, and they're chasing our doubles through an alley. You can't tell because it's on the back of it's our backs. So we're running and the headlights hit us. And if you look, it is the Brundle's lab, the alley outside of Brundlefly from the
No.
Fly. And Chris
Wow.
Columbus insisted on shooting in this alley. He was like, I need to tribute Cronenberg in this alley. And you think of him as a light, fun director, but he's got a great dark humor side. Gremlins, Harry Potter. There is a bit that I think he might get. Spielberg has that, because life has a lot of nastiness, and the best movies have a lot of truth that reflect life. So there's divorces and single moms all over, E.T. and
Yeah.
Close Encounters and stuff like that. And so it's just because it's personal, it means something. That's the problem with a lot of the big movies today. Is I is that they're derivative. I don't think there's anything personal in them. I think they're just following the Joseph Campbell legend of myth, hero's journey. Like, they're so structured,
Yeah.
and the really, really good ones still follow that structure. They're just so well done.
Mm.
Um, that you don't notice. So there's still great films being made. A lot of it is it's got a lot of production costs, and we
Yeah.
got to figure out a way to make cheaper movies and make better movies. Now in the
Yeah.
'80s, they had it. They're like, give us $5 to $10 million, and we will give you a movie
Yeah.
that looks like a movie, because they were all shot on the same film. I mean, regular old Kodak 35 millimeter. Some movies would use Fujifilm.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I was going to go into that a bit later, but like with like you say that with these kind of small studios and these small budgets, did the VHS era kind of
It did.
um like
Huge.
yeah, I'm going to say like, but also as an actor as well, like because knowing that the VHS, these straight to video movies are coming out, so there's a lot more opportunities for
Well, that
actors.
was a one where you started to be careful of what you did, because there was a while where it didn't matter if you were in a movie; it was in theaters. And then when video came along, do you know the first studio supported movie on VHS and the last studio supported movie on VHS? It's the longest running physical format for video. Is VHS. Do you know the first release in the US and the last release in the US?
Not the first history of violence for
Yes, you are right.
for the
The
last
Viggo
one.
Mortensen History of Violence of the Last,
Yeah,
and
not the first though.
Alien.
Wow. Oh,
Alien, 1979, Ridley Scott's Alien is the first majorly supported VHS from
Wow.
studios. And that was something you could hold. You could read the box art. You could take the cassette out. And we were surprised because certain ones that were colors. E.T. to prevent bootleggers, they made the cassettes green. And you pull out, you see the green one. Ah, this is great. Right?
Yeah.
And now you just hit a button and you pay for a license and you watch it on
Yeah.
your phone or your screen, but there's no ownership to it.
Yeah, and yeah, there's so many great movies that will get lost, like probably forever, purely unless you own it on physical media. I'm a massive supporter for that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, for these great, in order to actually get hold of these movies, it's going to have to purely be in physical media. And the streaming service is like it's killing it, isn't it? So there's no heart to it. It's just I remember obviously like growing up with my dad, going to the video shop, the artwork. All you had was literally that. Flip it round, see, and that's all you had. Like there was no internet for trailers, so it had to jump out at you from the shelf. And
Yeah.
none of that exists anymore. So yeah,
It
it's
helped if you knew the movie star on the cover. You
yeah.
go, oh, Michael Douglas, he's good. Yeah, get that.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so going on again to babysitting, like this was like
Yeah.
a massive film for my wife, obviously. But yeah, obviously with Elizabeth Shue, was she like in like she was going to be in it from day one? Was there a lot of auditioning for that?
I heard a interview where they said she was maybe third in the room on the first day of casting, and when she left, they went, it's her, right? Like it's her. She's the babysitter. And they're like, we have a deal with so and so. We have to see, and they have to say no, and then this, and they're like, all right. Phoebe Cates, Valerie Bertinelli, all screen testing for the babysitter role.
Wow. But
And rumors when it was at Paramount that Sharon Stone was attached. At one point, in the earliest first script, it was Kathleen Turner was involved. That's what
what?
all the rumors were on
Mm.
IMDb and then scrubbed in the message boards when they did the great IMDb message board cleanse.
I mean,
It had gotten out of hand, to be honest. My poor mom was jumping in and like defending me because people were like, "He's a has been." I'm like, I don't care what you say. I do, a couple of things a year and I'm fine.
yeah.
Everyone has. My grandfather did teach me a great lesson. He goes, "The business, show business, is cyclical. Goes up and down, and you're hot, and then you're not, and then so you work, then you don't work." And so I was prepared for
Mm.
the lean years as they were.
Ah.
Um, but video came along and there became a bar that when you said yes to a project, you wanted to make sure it did not go straight to video because that is a mark. That's backwards. If you're
Mm.
already in theatrical films that are in the screen, you can't do something that goes straight to video. It
Yeah.
was just absolutely verboten. So I'm very proud. Everything went to uh, got up until the maybe oh no Downhill Willie, was that in screens? Maybe not. 95 maybe. Yeah, so that was a good run.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
dozen pictures or so that got the Hiding Out had a nice little release.
Great, cool
Great
classic.
soundtrack. But Adventures of Babysitting was the one that it they made it quick. We made it January, February, March.
That was
We even
cold
did a
then.
week. We did 2 weeks in Chicago. After 2 months in Toronto, we did 2 weeks in Chicago. Then we did a weekend in Los Angeles for special effects.
All right.
And then it was released for the July 4th weekend.
Sweet.
Wait, March, April, May, June. 3 months of post production with film, white gloves, actually dealing with negative and cutting film.
That's
Blew my
crazy.
mind. They even had effects in there. It was front projection. It was the that system they used for the train and Stand By Me,
Right. Yeah,
the bus crash in The Fugitive. They
yeah.
used it in Outland with Sean Connery. They used it a lot in Outland.
Yeah. Right.
Um, and the company was only around for 6 years, maybe. It was uh,
Then things
shot
were
on the
progressing.
VistaVision format. It was shot with a larger format so that when you optically print or like when you printed it down, it all looked better. It was really fascinating.
Yeah. I,
They even
I,
had a poster for Over the Edge, which I think had Aidan Quinn, and it was Chris Columbus's first sold screenplay. And
uh,
I don't know if he took his name off because I go, "Isn't that? Didn't you do that or whatever?" And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about."
yeah, move swiftly on.
Yeah,
Um,
Adventures in Babysitting was great. I was very excited when it came out. Because usually there were two or three movies that came out every weekend. And in the
yeah.
summer, you're like, oh, this is great. I was a little concerned because Inner Space.
Mm.
Joe Dante's Inner Space was releasing that weekend, and they played a lot of ads and it looked great. I wanted to go see Inner Space. Shit. So
Yeah.
I opened the LA Times, the paper, and they have a Sunday section with the movies and all that
Mm.
stuff. And I open it up, and I'm looking for an ad like this. Where's it playing? Where's the thing? And I guess I missed it was the entire center section full to one page ads. It was the gatefold Times, and I was like, oh, they're putting some money into this. So Touchstone got behind it. They played the trailer to death for a week. Overseas, it was called A Night on the Town
Okay.
because in '87 there was a series of naughties that had adventures in the title, adventures in cab driving, adventures in hotel, adventures in school teacher, whatever, and they were naughty.
Yeah,
And so they
the
didn't
British
want
movies.
audience to go though, oh, it's another one of those adventures in movies.
Yeah.
And there was a rumor floated that they said, well, they changed it because babysitting doesn't mean anything in the UK. They're nannies, they're au pairs, and I've talked to a lot of Brits that go, that's fucking bullshit. We know what a babysitter is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I never expected that. Like,
And they
but
changed the poster depending on where it was released. They altered the art. For some markets, they took Sarah off and
yeah,
they put the frat boy on because they wanted to target older teens instead of younger teens.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Marketing is funny. I remember watching Elizabeth Shue go toe to toe with the executives at Disney over the trailer.
wow.
What should be in it, what shouldn't, like, and she was really adamant. She stood up in this boardroom at Disney. I was very impressed. Um, yeah, that was, and then I did another picture right after Cheetah, and Elizabeth Shue did cocktails for Disney.
Oh wow, yeah. I was going to say about the cheetah thing. So, that was what was it? 89 was it? 88, 89, I think. So,
Hmm.
so there was a rumor that was. Did you go in for the Honey I Shrunk the Kids, or did they offer you Honey I Shrunk the Kids at
So
all?
I had gotten a call from Mike Fenton, the casting director, legendary casting director, and he goes, "I need a favor." I'm like, "Yes, sir. Can you come in and kiss every 16-year-old girl in LA?" I'm like, that's not going to be a problem, Mr. Fenton. Sure, I'll come in. And so I read like a chemistry read or whatever. They just wanted to test all the girls, and so they
Right.
videotaped me kissing all of these girls. And then it was basically I could do that, or I could do Cheetah.
Filming in
And
Kenya.
yeah, and it would be for the same amount of money. It's your second pick. There's like a deal you do with Disney, a three-picture deal. It's called the three-picture deal. Everybody signed the three-picture deal,
Okay.
and it doesn't mean you're doing three pictures for them. It just means that Disney's pre-negotiated your salary, your billing, your trailer size, and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So if you blow up really big, then you can't come and stick it to them for the sequels or something like that. And I totally understand that. So it's great though because so I got a choice to do 6 months in Mexico City for Honey I Shrunk the Kids, or 5 weeks in Africa for the
Yeah.
same amount of money.
All right.
And in our industry at the time, you had what's known as a quote. It's your weekly rate, how much he is per week. And
Okay.
and everyone supported me at the time. They go, do the 5 week job because then your quote will be insane. If you take the 6 month job, it'll dilute it to minimum wage.
Wow.
And of course, the cheetah made like 10 million at the box office, and Honey I Shrunk the Kid made like over 200 million at the box office. But name the kid from Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
What that you was offered like the role?
Yeah, the
Uh,
friend. The nerd
Uh,
kid that was like lifting weights and had a crush on her. Name
oh,
him.
the
Hey, you can't
character.
name me either, but wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't have hurt,
Oh, the
but it would have
actor.
been.
Right.
Yeah,
No, literally no idea. Yeah.
there you go.
Uh,
So it wouldn't
um,
have launched me into the stratosphere.
no, but who knows? I mean, I don't know.
But if I didn't do that, if I did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I wouldn't have been able to do Cousins, directed by Joel Schumacher, starring
Yeah,
Ted Danson, Isabella Rossellini, Sean Young, Norma Aleandro, Billy Peterson, and Lloyd Bridges.
yeah,
So if I'd done Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I would have worked with Rick Moranis,
yeah.
but I wouldn't have worked with Lloyd Bridges. So that's, you always have weird choices in Hollywood. Sometimes you're lucky and you're in demand and you have a, oh my God, there's a
Mhm.
conflict. You never know. You never know what project is going to be good or not.
No. Just quickly on the babysitting, I've got to mention the club scene, the babysitting blues and all
Yeah.
that. Like, what was that like to film? Like, was it awkward? Like, was because Elizabeth Shue looked quite like awkward doing it, singing it or whatever.
Yeah.
So
She
was
was
it a tough?
fantastic
Was it a
at
tough
that.
shoot
We
for
were
that
lip
scene?
syncing. We were lip syncing,
Yeah.
including all the talking was lip syncing to a track we recorded on a Sunday.
Okay.
And then on the very next day, we went into the club for 2 days. And that club is Fitzgerald's. It's the same place that Paul Newman gave the Balabushka to Tom Cruise in Color of Onion.
Wow. No way. Oh
Yeah, same
wow.
club.
That's
And
awesome.
we had three Panavisions, and they did the sequence over and over and over and over again for 2 days. They shot 13,000 feet of film.
Jeez.
Most released movies at the time were about 11,000 feet of film. So we shot enough footage for a whole movie in 2 days.
Fucking hell.
And they took, if you notice in the movie when they cut from certain angles, it's a continuous cut. You go, oh, that was like there was at least two cameras at that time, and then there was a third camera in the back doing like a slow dolly move behind the crowd, and then they did like inserts from the other side and stuff, and it was a fun day because the crowd
Oh
had to
wow.
kind of, the director kept just saying, tell the crowd later, just stare them down, don't respond, and then they're telling us like, you got to win them over, man, I don't know, you got to win them over. And then so when they broke, and they yeah, everyone's fantastic in that scene. And they even extended it. There's a bit Albert Collins music you hear repeat. It's an outro. We're doing high fives on the way out of the bar, and you hear him repeat 2 bars, just a little lick he does or whatever, and you're like, oh. And it was just, we needed more of the music to cover the exit.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
I listen, I hear that stuff. I can tell the difference between cuts of movies like Blade Runner from the audio alone.
wow.
From the pop on a reel change, I go, oh, that's the road print. That, I can like
That's
tell.
awesome. Right, sweet. That's some here there. That I mean, like 89, like you say, going into like you did your cousins and stuff. I just want to mention the Oscars in 89. Like what? So
Yes.
you did the
So
Oscars.
because I did Cousins, I danced in that with Lloyd Bridges. And then to promote it, they played that scene, and I went on an AM Los Angeles show in LA to promote it, like a morning show. And I did the splits and did a little dancing. And Kenny Ortega's assistant was watching the me promoting Cousins on a morning show, and he goes, oh, he should be one of the kids in that number we're doing about like Hollywood progeny that are maybe be an Oscar winner someday. And so that's how I was pulled. They go, hey, do you want to be on the Oscars? And I went, absolutely, I want to be on the Oscars.
Oh,
That
that
was really
must have
fun.
been I'm gonna say that must have been a mad night,
Oh yeah,
like
it was a
89
couple of
Oscars.
weeks of rehearsal. We did rehearse for several weeks before, and that was fun. That was, because a lot of them were like New York theater brats.
Right.
We had Connie Stevens girls there, Jolie and Trisha Lee Fisher. It was Melora Hardin, who could do hardcore ballet. Oh wait, oh my God, there's so many. Blair Underwood and Corey Parker, Patrick Dempsey, Chad Lowe, Ricky Lake. I became great friends
Ah,
while we were rehearsing because I was such a fan of Hairspray, and she had done that with Kenny Ortega, and so it was like, oh, it was so fun to do that. It was unfortunately the one Oscars produced by Alan Carr Jr., famous for directing Grease too. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. But that's another favorite of
definitely.
my wife. So like, yeah, yeah.
My wife
It's
too. She's like, it's
got its
these
own
cool
audience.
riders.
Yeah, some random songs in that film, man. Like, yeah, totally. So yeah, so yours obviously going into like into the 90s. Um, like I can only imagine this the Hollywood scene at that point for young actors. Well, I mean, was you involved around all that? Like, so, I mean, the young actors that were coming around at that point was insane. So, like, the whole kind of the clubbing scene of sorts, or just like that era. Like, what was that like? Was he involved? You must have some
So
crazy
let's put the
stories.
age difference between us, and I say us meaning Christian Slater, Corey Feldman, River Phoenix, Corey Haim. We're all about the same age. But then there were the older guys, Rob Lowe, frickin' Emilio Estevez, right?
Mm,
Charlie Sheen was a little younger. Chad Lowe was 3 years older than me, or maybe like 3 grades above.
okay.
And so, you don't hang out with the kids that weren't even like as you entered, junior high and they're leaving, younger kids don't hang out with the older kids.
Right.
So no, I didn't see the real Brat Pack. We were part of like the Bratty Pack or the Rat Pack. I don't know what they didn't call us nothing.
Did they have their own scene then? Like you just mentioned some of
We
those
did. So there
acting.
was an underage scene because LA is full of great bars, but there's also clubs that were 18 and up so that you could be in. And if you could drink, then they give you a wristband if you were over 21. But minors weren't allowed. So you had to be 18. So that was interesting. But then if you were clubs, and it was New York Seltzer, the soda, sponsored these parties that would be in like a rave, like a warehouse, sometimes in like a hotel ballroom or whatever. Well, a lot of time we did it at the crazy hotel on the Sunset Strip. That's like in all the songs where they like rode motorcycles in the hall, the Madhouse.
Right. Okay.
Um, so like Howard Hughes's old film lab in Hollywood, like weird places, and they would have DJs, and then girls would pay memberships to this thing to fund it, right? So they'd pay memberships, but that would allow them to get into these parties where in would stroll Alfonso Ribera, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, who like Ricky Schro, whoever they could get, that was hot at the time to come to these parties. So I went to a bunch of those, and those were a blast, and that prepped you for uh, the next round up. Now, if you're in a movie and you have a rap party at a club that's 21 and up, but you're 19, you're in that club. You're in there. You're there. And it's free
Yeah.
booze. It's like whatever. And so I think that's how a lot of the younger artists perhaps get
Wow.
exposed to that just because they don't think about it. They're like, this kid worked more days on the movie than I did. Give him a
Yeah.
beer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they
Yeah.
have respect for them. And a lot of that is attributed to Macaulay Culkin and Chris Columbus and Home Alone. Because before Home Alone, kids were in movies. They even starred in them, but they didn't get the top billing and they didn't
Mm.
get top pay. And it was when they proved that a kid could really bring a blockbuster movie home, then kids started getting treated with a little more equity.
Right. Wow. Yeah. So, what going on to Cousins again? Like, working with Joel Schumacher, man. Like, I mean, and
Great.
how did you get the role come to you then? Like, so.
It was an audition process, and after you go through the casting director, they did a chemistry read. So they had kids all read with Ted Danson. And we all knew that Ted Danson's going to be the star and everything, and he's hot off of Cheers.
Hmm.
So he's still doing Cheers. He did it between seasons.
Okay.
And so I went in, I read with Ted, and I booked it. Later, we're filming the movie, and they're doing like maybe it was there's a riverboat scene where Maria's mom goes dancing with some rando. It winds up being the producer was the
Right.
guy that she's dancing with. So it's like saves him money. He doesn't have to pay an actor. Um, and all the family was there, and the guy and the producer was all feeling his oats, and he told me, he goes, "You know why we cast you?" And I go, "Because I was the best Mitch." I don't know. He goes, "No, you weren't the best Mitch." And I go, "Oh." He goes, "You made Ted Danson better."
Ah,
And I went, "Ah,
wow.
that's a great reason for
Yeah.
a supporting character actor to get a job." I appreciated that.
Oh, wow. So,
Then he
did
told
it?
me he would have paid me twice as much, he shouldn't have told me
No, gutted.
that.
Oh, but I mean that there was this, like you were mentioning, some of those heavy hitters there. Like, so was it intimidating? Because obviously, coming from the films you'd done previous, going into a
No,
movie like,
no,
were you
never
just
if
like
they're no,
the
if they're
mate?
really into the work
Yeah.
and the bigger star they are, the more that they'd earned it, the more relaxed they are. The more innocent and malleable to a director. The more that they do it, the more they don't know everything, and they know that they've still got to work every time and
Mm,
listen and really like open up. So I watched Lloyd Bridges just work his ass off for Joel Schumacher. Then you might find younger kids who think they know it all.
mm.
They don't listen and they don't, Um, so I was never, no, I was really lucky to work with, God, it's just always great people because that's the secret about Hollywood is there's 170,000 Screen Actors Guild actors. There's only 8,000 speaking roles a year.
Wow.
We don't have to work with jerks. There is a line out the door of some really nice people that we
Yeah.
could spend time with doing this really hard job. Well, not really hard. It's fun.
Mm,
It's also an elective.
yeah.
It's
Uh,
voluntary. Do you join the drum and bugle corps and go, "Can we march slower?" Yeah, I don't know. I need a different instrument. I don't like this song. You what? Don't come into the industry and go, "Let's change things." I'm like, no, you ain't changing shit.
uh, that was so Joel Schumacher. I think it was his first film after Lost Boys. Like, what was he like? Was he a really cool director? Help you a lot? Was he
He's
intense?
the master of all genres. He
Yeah,
could do Dying Young to Flatliners to Cousins to, Lost Boys. So that he knew the material. He wanted it to feel like family. He created a very Fellini kind of set where everyone just existed in the space, and he'd have multiple cameras going, and he'd be shooting at different angles. You wouldn't know when you're on camera or not. That was the beauty of it. So
wow.
everybody kind of had to be on their game. He'd be picking off shots of people across the room. They don't even know they're on in the shot. Um, and he put us into camps. So we had all of the Polish family here, the Kaczynskis, and then all of the Italian family over here. And he told these 30 or 40 extras on each side because we had three weddings and one funeral
Okay,
in that movie. And so that's a
that
lot of group scenes with a lot of family, right? So he
yeah,
goes, get to know each other, figure out who's second cousin, who's whatever, and spend some time with each other. And then so
sweet.
there was a little arch rivalry. There was a nice tension there between the two families. It
Oh,
was
that's
fun. It
all.
was really fun to shoot. And Ted was just relaxed. He was also out of his element in that he wasn't standing behind the bar.
Mm. It does come across just like a real in most of his roles, Ted Danson. Like I don't know. There's like a
That's I
warmness.
think
It's just a relax. It's relaxed.
his characters react how he would.
Yeah.
Um yeah,
He
he's
just
in a lot of great stuff.
he just
And
seems
some stuff
really
prior to
relaxed to
Cheers
everything.
that'll blow you away.
Yeah.
Some dramas and stuff that you're like, I didn't know he was in that. He's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Going on to 1991, that was kind of back-to-back movie releases of two great toy soldiers. And Don't Tell Mum the Babysitter's Dead, another babysitter type film. Like, yeah, with it.
And 90, I think we also squeezed Book of Love from New Line Cinema into
Yeah.
theaters in
So,
that year. So I had three movies that year, but yes, Book of Love was a quieter release.
yeah, when you compare it to them two like massive titles, but I mean, looking back now, seeing that as a period of time, so going from say that's Adventures in Babysitting up to that period, Like, how was it for you? Like, was you kind of like just absolutely loving life? It was just like,
Oh,
you
loving
know,
life. I'm 20.
not taking it for
Um,
granted though, or
you always think you're going to work forever at the pace that you are, but you also know that you have to try to book your next job before you wrap the job you're on.
right?
That way, if that's a stinker, you still got some momentum going. And so, um, yeah, it was a good rip. Two movies a year from '87, and we did Toy Soldiers first. And here's where I was at. I wasn't too competitive on the looks thing. I'm a character actor. I can be a little pudgy. Let my hair grow out. They'll cut it for whatever production I get. I go, you can't grow your hair overnight, but you can cut it overnight. And
Yeah,
so I would just I'd be whatever they wanted to be. And I would kind of be in character for auditions because that was one of the ways that it helped me get a lot of jobs. I was like, just go in as character. Um, for toy soldiers, everyone was trying to be cool and fit and work out and baby oil and wear like cutoffs and show their muscles and stuff. And
small
I'm like, I'm
pants.
playing an asthmatic smoker who like just is he's just a brat. And I coined that the character was rich white trash and deck shoes with no socks, corduroys, that kind of crap. And I loved it. It felt like it needed because they were all trying to be machismo, and it needed good pussy. It needed someone who, the moment they point a Kalishnikov at him, he goes like this.
Yeah.
You'll see that when they point the gun at the kids, and Snuffy in the back just immediately goes, "I surrender." But secretly, he is poisoning. He's like, secretly he's spitting at the guards behind him. So he's got that, um, great escape. He wants to be Steve McQueen so bad and be cool, but he's really just this nerd. And so he loves that he's accepted by all the cool kids. What was great is I didn't have to work out for the movie. Every kid in town wanted to be on Toy Soldiers. And I was just gunning for the Snuffy role. That's the one they offered, not offered, but they said, read this. I hit it off with Dan Petrie Jr., the director. That was his directorial debut. And he had written Turner and Hooch and Beverly Hills Cop.
Wow.
And we got to work with greats like Arlie Ermy and Andrew Devoff and
Louis Gossett
who was the other
Jr.
FBI guy that was in FX?
Uh,
Bait.
uh,
He played. Oh God, I can't remember his name. Mason Adams.
right. Okay. Yeah.
Mason Adams. Oh, sorry, I had a thing to record a thing. Okay, I did that.
Yeah. Obviously working with Louis Gossett Jr. as well, like legend in himself.
Uh,
Like what was it? He seemed like
Absolutely.
a really cool guy on set. Like his character's mega. Like what was he like?
He was so solid. So good way to put it. Good character. He was I want to call it a paycheck actor, which means if it's Iron Eagle 3 or if it's Toy Soldiers or if it's Officer and Gentleman, he will show up and work as hard as he can and he will proudly take that paycheck. Thank you. So I didn't see any difference in like his performance. Everyone with Jerry Orbach knew the tone.
Yeah.
This is B grade camp. It is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to have plot holes. It's supposed to be ridiculous. It's supposed to just get up to that last 15 minutes. If you could make us care for one of those kids or anything, and in the last 15 minutes have that suspense with the, helicopters coming in, breach, bang, clear, and people zip lining off of it's genuinely a very, very exciting action movie. And
Yeah.
a hard R. It's got good like head wounds and
Yeah.
good murders, killings. Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
stuff.
It must be a great shoot as well. Yeah, when you big helicopter, you got all the gear coming in, and it was
Mhm.
like a proper action film for you as well, I suppose. Was it like was that your first kind of proper action film? Would you say, or
Sure, I'd done like Chips episodes and Knight Rider, and I'd
yeah,
worked with stunt teams and with horses and dirt bikes and
mm,
and Adventures of Babysitting had its fair share of vehicles and stuff like that. But this had Blackhawks and
yeah,
Apaches and Humvees, which were new. And all of the equipment you saw in Toy Soldiers were donated by the Department of Defense. Toy
wow,
Soldiers is on the list on the U.S. Department of Defense website of over 300 movies that got material support from the U.S. government.
Wow.
And as they're wrapping up, they were there towards the end of shooting there. They were for about 2 weeks.
Keep cutting off. The connection seems to be cutting off a bit.
All
So
right. Well, then maybe they don't want me to tell that story.
so well, so we'll go quickly on to Adventures in it's not Adventures in Babysit. Don't Tell Mum Babysitter's Dead. Right, so yeah, so obviously Kenny, your character, iconic character. Um, what was that like? I heard that as an audition, you came in full gear with wearing the wig because obviously you was
I did.
slightly older.
I wasn't up for the part originally. I was up for the clown dog boy,
Hmm.
and I just really liked the Kenny role, and didn't listen to anybody when they told me I was too old for it. I didn't
No.
listen to anybody. I didn't listen to my agent. I did ask the casting director permission if after I did my reading for the Brian, the clown dog boy, I said, "Can I come back in a minute and show you something?" She's like, "Sure, Keith." I guess I'd built up some trust with her, and I went into the car and I changed into a really cheap wig. It was so bad I had to put a baseball cap over and kind of pull a Sebastian Bach. Um, and torn jeans and this skull vest, and went back in and it just was in character. I came in as Kenny. I just really wanted to show him that. Um,
Yeah.
and at the end of the audition, the casting director goes, "Okay, Keith, go ahead and take off the thing." And I removed the hat and the wig, and the director and producers were like, "Oh, that's the same guy that was just here for the other thing." And I
Wow.
shortly later got the job.
Awesome. But I mean, the director just made Bill and Ted, Stephen Herrick. So
Yep.
was that character at all based around them as a character? Because there's similar elements to it. Like, is that something you
Yeah.
suggested or?
You take a bit of Spicoli and you combine them. I would say half Bill and Ted, and then, and it's weird because I didn't see the film until after I did Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, but
Right.
Keanu Reeves in River's Edge.
All right.
Dude, he's Kenny is really, dude, he just talks like this. And like, oh my God, it's so close. And so there was an inspiration with Bill and Ted, certainly, and I knew who damn well Stephen Herrick was, and I knew who his cameraman was too, because it was the same cinematographer who did Bill and Ted. And famously, they had to shoot Bill and Ted in scope
Right.
because they wanted to use a scene from War and Peace. There was one scene from War and Peace that was shot in CinemaScope, and they go, "Well, if we want to use that clip, we should just shoot the whole movie in CinemaScope." I'm like, I want
Oh,
to work with those guys.
wow, that's awesome.
So Don't Tell Mom had subversive producers. They had produced Sex Lies and Videotape.
Okay.
And so they were used to pushing it a little bit. And remember, these toy soldiers and Don't Tell Mom were made at the last moment before PC culture hit in the States. Political correctness hit, and you
Mhm.
couldn't say this, and you couldn't make jokes about that, and women, children, blah blah blah, animals. Screw you. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Come on, it's
Exactly.
comedy.
Exactly.
I'll make flying monkeys come out of your butt if I want to. So yeah, everyone got a little sensitive there for a minute. So I like that both Don't Tell Mom and Toy Soldiers could be enjoyed by everybody, adults, kids. We
Yeah.
didn't used to make stuff for. Um, we didn't used to narrowcast, make stuff for her and some shows for him, and what does he like, and what does this guy like. We used to just make Ghostbusters
Mm.
and cram it down your throat for 17 weeks. We would make Die Hard, and then everybody, my God, was that a great Rambo, the First Blood. I mean,
Yeah.
movies that people talk about, people that when you see someone you haven't seen in a long time, hey, what are you doing? Oh yeah, I want to get coffee. Actually, there's this movie out. I want to take you to go see it. I saw it last night. It's amazing. That's what happened in the 80s because there wasn't an internet to sit there and kind of learn about this stuff. You had to
Yeah.
be told by somebody you don't understand. You have to see Jaws. It's crazy. And then,
Yeah.
Blade Runner and stuff. I
Yeah.
think
100%.
by the time early 80s got around and Empire Strikes Back, and there was enough of a zeitgeist and a pop culture now. Star Wars was everywhere.
Mm,
It was a freaking Christmas special. It was, on soda cups at Burger King. It was that kind of thing.
yeah.
It was ubiquitous. So that was called broadcasting. So right now we do narrowcasting. So we're lucky, I think, in that everyone was pretty much aware of the movies when they were coming out. And then there was a healthy run because all of those wound up, doing video releases, DVD. Don't Tell Mom was released on DVD before it was released on VHS.
That's crazy.
And it had a $1 million advertising campaign just for the DVD. And they had big cardboard cutouts of the babysitter's feet sticking out of the ground. And
Such a great poster. Iconic.
yeah, it was definitely a good poster. All posters lie. We don't hang off the building in Adventures in Babysitting.
No.
And her feet don't stick out of the ground and don't tell Mom the babysitter.
Yeah, I never even realized as well. Like, so I rewatched it recently. That you don't actually have any scenes with the babysitter either. So was she on set when she was doing the scenes though? I mean, was you around or because she's a cool little character?
Yeah, because we were doing like half days, half nights, and so you're in something every day.
Yeah. What was
Yeah,
it?
I went to set every day. I went to set on days I didn't work. First thing they shot were the GAW, the office scenes with
All
Joanna
right.
Cassidy and David Duchovny and Kimmy Robertson and Jane Brooke and Christina. And I'm off camera on the phone with her for a couple of scenes where she's yelling at me on the phone. We yell at each other, whatever. And I came in. I'm getting paid for the whole movie, so I
Mm.
go, I'm coming in. And I came in. They got me a trailer, and I sat behind camera and I read all the lines off camera because it's better than reading with a script reader.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
And then we did the remake. Don't
Yeah.
Tell on the Babysitters. Did the remake, and I'm on set. I've shot my cameo, but
Hmm.
they're shooting the scene where she's arguing with Kenny on the phone, and the first assistant director is sitting there reading the scene with her. And they do two or three takes. And on about the fourth or fifth take, I go, "Hey, give me the signs." And he goes, "You want to read it?" And I go, "Yeah." So off camera, there's one take where Simone Joy Jones, she goes, "Kenny, what are you doing?" And I go, "Dude, I don't know, easy, relax, or whatever." And I start talking in the original Kenny voice, and you can kind of hear her go, "What?" And so we have the scene, we do the scene. Yeah, yeah, uh, that was pretty
uh,
fun. I wonder if they used that take, but that was a fun moment. They let me do that. It was
uh,
very neat to see it remade uh, and updated.
mm.
Great writer, great director. Uh, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, well, was it a couple of years? I think it's quite recent, isn't it? I think it came out the
Yeah, it came
remake.
out
Yeah,
last year,
yeah,
March or April, and then in the thousand theaters, and
yeah.
then May it was on BET Plus,
Right. So,
and it's there, it's stuck there, and then they released it so you can buy it for $15 or you can rent it for like $2 or $3. I don't know, but
sweet.
it's a better movie. It's a better film than ours. It's rated R, hard R. I cannot quote it. It's filthy. Uh, but I really love it. I've never seen a movie lovingly tribute the original more than the new Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yeah, I saw that come on to Disney Plus, like they remade that, and I'm
Oh,
all familiar.
Adventures in Babysitting one.
Babysitting, yeah. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, that
yeah,
was rated G, and I think made for because the head of Disney Channel had an 8-year-old daughter, and he goes, "I love Adventures in Babysitting." He goes, "I can't show that to her." Your language and everything. And so when they wound up putting the original on Disney Plus, and when they remade the Adventures in Babysitting, they cleaned it up. It is rated G. They've taken out all the
yeah,
bad language,
yeah,
which that was kind of one of the thrilling parts of the adventure. Was we don't have any parents. We can curse. We could,
yeah,
we're taking care of ourselves now. Watch your
yeah.
step. Are you shitting me?
I mean, he was on set with obviously Danielle Harris and
Oh yeah,
Robert Gorman. I mean, Danielle Harris.
yeah.
I think at that point she was already a pro at that age, weren't she? She was Such a
She
great
had,
child
and I was
actress.
ignorant because I didn't even see Season of the Witch. So I'd
Right.
seen Halloween 1 and 2, and I stopped. So I never saw her. And I love you, Danielle, but I'm so sorry I didn't see those.
No, I
I
mean,
didn't see the Rob Zombie ones. I haven't watched any of the new Halloweens.
no.
Halloween holds a very special thing because it scared the crap out of our family and everybody. We were over at another family's house, and they're like, "We got to show you this." And they jumped up behind the kitchen sink window with a butcher knife. Mid movie, like we go to wash something in the sink, and they jumped up with the knife, and we all scared out of our
Oh,
minds.
that's awesome. I love it. Like, was it a fun set to be on then when you've got like obviously just those kind of your siblings running around doing the lines? It
Oh
must have been a blast.
yeah, it was
Christina
summer, so they
Applegate.
didn't. The kids didn't have to do schoolwork. They're off school. They don't have to do schoolwork, but they had to do a lot of recreation. They had like specific times where they're like, "Go play, be a kid," and they would romp around on, they had a bunch of toys and bikes, and um, it was a good kid. Now Kenny is more neglectful,
Mm.
and once again, we're shooting the movie in continuity, so we kind of shoot it in order, and so I didn't interact much with them for a while. I was mysterious older brother that came and went, and like, what's Kenny doing? I don't know. Kenny doesn't care. So as Kenny turns into Kenneth and starts to care, I hung out with him a little more, and
Mm.
yeah. I learned very young to be a method actor, not
Mm.
leave a dead rat on your doorstep method actor, but
Mm.
um, I think that it's better if you have some sort of a relationship with the people,
Mm.
friends, enemies. I don't know. Give me something. Give me something to work with.
Yeah. So
If I know how to get under your skin for real, and then we're in a scene together, I'll throw it right out there.
that's the whole point, isn't it? Yeah, method acting at its best. So yeah, and lastly, like with your famous quote, I bet you at the point you never expected it to be such an iconic line, but now,
No,
I mean, you're using it.
it
Like you
wasn't
get,
in the original script.
all right, okay.
And it wound up being the last line in the trailer. At the very end of the trailer, the dishes are done, man. And so you
Yeah,
didn't have to see the movie, and everyone was exposed to the line. I love it. I don't
yeah,
care. There's actors that like won't sign posters for certain movies. They're like, nah, not that.
yeah,
Like, how could you hate anything you did? Like, celebrate
yeah,
it, even if it's a stinker. Celebrate it. And Don't Tell
yeah.
Mom was not Warner Brothers picture, made for I don't know 10 million, and it made 26 million. Adventures of Babysitting, once again, made for 10 million, made 30 something million. Um, Modest hits. They weren't runaway $100 million hits,
Mm,
but everyone was happy. Everyone's counting their money, and it plays on cable. I'm very stoked that they're all available on streaming services. That's amazing because there are
yeah.
shows like the Willow series, which you can't find. The Batgirl movie that they buried. We're
Mm-mm.
lucky they rescued like Acme versus Coyote. They were going to write that off, and we're
Yeah.
giving our tax money to studios. What? Excuse me? Run that by me again. I'm giving my tax dollars to subsidize a multi-million billion dollar media company
Yeah,
that run at losses. They're all billions of dollars in debt.
yeah.
Netflix is $15 billion in debt. Why do I
Wow.
have to take scale plus 10% for your Netflix show when you're just running up a credit card that doesn't even exist? I mean, then that's going to be a black swan when that debt crashes, and Netflix goes bye bye. How much content are we going to lose because we don't have physical media? As a matter of fact, a fan was saying that they needed to get a copy of Adventures of Babysitting signed because their disc got disc rot
Shit.
and it's no good anymore. So even
Ah.
physical media doesn't last forever, and that's a
Yeah.
shame. That's a shame. There's definitely an Oculus. There's this movies from the 70s and early 80s that you cannot find online. You can't. They
No.
didn't get a DVD release or barely got a VHS release. They're hard to find.
Yeah. 100%. Like we said before, it's becoming like a dying. breed, if you like, of like having physical collectors now,
Yeah, you can
and
always tell the physical VHS collectors because they've organized their collection by color.
I'm not quite that bad, but I've
The
seen.
rainbow behind them. I'm like, oh, you're hardcore. You are serious. And
Yeah.
all movies with a white box and red letters is crap. Daddy Daycare, Doctor Doolittle. Look, don't test me on this. I'm right.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for that now. Like, yeah, but it's not. It was like just Eddie Murphy's more recent stuff.
Disorderlies. Come on, white. I'm sorry, Kevin. I love Mallrats. Kevin Smith. I'm trying to talk to Kevin Smith, so he could give me another job. Thanks, Kev.
Oh, that
Mm.
so
Kevin just introduced Dogma 25.
yeah.
Did you hear about this? Oh
Sorry,
no,
bro.
I've lost you. Oh, there you are.
Yeah,
Yep.
repeat that. Sorry.
So Kevin Smith just introduced Dogma 25, a rehash of the 90s Dogma film movement with new restrictions.
Okay.
No crews above 15 people. And the same rules of diegetic music only. It has to be in the scene. Somebody playing piano, somebody playing it. You can't just play music.
Right.
No makeup, no hair, no wardrobe. It is what it is. A hospital's a hospital. A school's a school. A house is a house. You can't, create stuff for your movie. Just a good
Okay.
story.
Yeah. Right.
And no internet involved in making the movie.
Wow.
And people broke out. They go, "What does that mean? What do you mean no internet?" Well, you can use email to organize a meeting, but you have to be in the room when you're choosing takes. You can't just send off a couple clips and go, take one, two, or three. Which one do you like? You have to be in the room and go, that. Look at her eyes. That take. Use that take. It's collaborative.
Wow.
And so that new rule system is going to bring budgets down. We're going to get a lot of creativity.
Oh,
People will get
wow.
inspired to, because nobody shines more than an artist that's been given restrictions.
No.
You
No.
can't paint outside these lines. Fucking watch me. And they go way outside the lines, and
Yeah.
Picasso that shit. So that's exciting. And everyone's got a phone. 4K, pretty good sound.
Yeah.
Tangerine was shot on a phone 28 years later. A lot of that was shot on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Shit, Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later was shot on a high camcorder.
So
Um,
did
don't don't be a gear slut. Take what you got and make your projects.
yeah. Do you feel like because of how cinema is going now with regards to like like we said, these big budget films are losing massive money now. Is it kind of like just panic stations and it's like what we need to cut back and try and be more inventive with the making of film?
So, do you remember the speech in Fifth Element?
No, not really.
Okay, there's a speech where Gary Oldman he just knocks a glass off the table and it shatters, and he's like, "Destruction, yes." But then he goes, "Watch," and little droids come in and they sweep it up and they broom it and a dustbin one, and he goes, "Commerce." Look at that, commerce. So a big tentpole movie that cost $200 million,
Hmm.
the kind of oversaturated superhero derivative film that people are whining about,
Mm.
creates ancillary revenue streams for Burger King, Nike, a car, name it.
Mm.
Verticality. You got to get that with the character has to have an iPhone. Come on, there is way more going on than just budget and box office.
Mm.
There is that visibility that is keeping a star a star.
Yeah.
We will lose $30 million on this movie to keep that star a star, and that means our
Wow.
past library is worth more. Um, the Wolf deal was interesting. They paid George Clooney and Brad Pitt their rate,
Shit.
millions of dollars apiece, and then they went to release it, and they go, "Hey, listen, we're not going to go theatrical anymore. We're going to go limited theatrical, but we're going to do day and date. People can just buy it on Apple Plus." And they went, "Oh, okay." And they go, "Here's the problem, though. You need to give us some of the money back." And I go, "Why would we give our salary back?" And he goes, "Because if we release the movie in theaters, we've tracked it, it's not going to make its money back. And you'll never get that salary again." And indeed, in the trades, it is reported that Brad Pitt and George Clooney gave some of their money back, and then the film was not released widely in theaters, and it saved their image. This is the spin that certain public. You have to read what media company owns that magazine or that website,
Right.
because it might
Ah.
be a competing studio that has another movie coming out that weekend, and they want to just dog it. So don't trust. What is it? Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, it opened my eyes to a lot more of the ins and outs of studios and filmmaking. Like, it's
Sure.
just, yeah, like
If Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, if they can have this lawsuits, countersuits worth hundreds of millions for reputational damage because they're claiming PR houses were hired to do astroturfing campaigns to kind of make them look bad. Um, do you think that only happens between solo individual actors
mm,
who have limited resources?
yeah,
You think they're the only ones that hire those kinds of PR houses? Come on, the lid was lifted off. There was a whole expose on it. And they're like, we do not, let's all agree that this story should kind of be just let it play out in the courts and don't really give it too much attention. Because if they dig too deep and they see how they really do dirty business sometimes, and it's usually personal, an exec that worked with another exec, they're like, I hate them. You have to
yeah.
watch The Studio on Apple Plus. It's got a great moment of vindictiveness in it where they're like, I want to ruin them. They said, I thought you were
Ah.
over it. They're like, I'm not over it.
I've heard great things about the studio. To be fair, like so, yeah, I need to jump on that. Yeah,
It's
definitely.
up there with all of the best behind the scenes making of movies. Anything you can think of. Singing in the Rain to Network to State and Maine, Living in Oblivion,
Wow.
Soap Dish, anything that shows kind of the behind the scenes making of a movie or a TV show, I think is fascinating because people want to know how the sausage is made.
Mm,
And they also want to know that these stars are normal, regular people that are petty and fight and have egos and,
mm.
um, uh, yeah, nobody wants to hear, oh, they wanted to make a movie and it went well and it made money and everyone was happy.
Yeah.
Where's the story in that? I want to hear who fought with who got
Yeah.
drunk, who slept with who cried.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing
That's
this
how there's
podcast.
like the Kevins.
Just lastly, then, looking back on like your incredible career, like what would you say are like is your standout highlight from that early period?
Oh, my goodness. Drinking milk and Pepsi with Laverne on Laverne and Shirley. Working with Jonathan Winters and Robin Williams and Pam Dauber on the last episode of Mork and Mindy.
Wow,
I do autograph conventions now, and we'll see Punch and John. And I did 4 episodes of Chips.
wow,
Um, and I still talk to the Waltons cast and Little House on the Prairie cast, and it is a very small community of people. We are kind of a little war fatigued. We're all have a little PTSD because it's intense. It's intense. You're not just going there to do the best you can for your own personal. You're like, there's millions of dollars riding on this. Like,
mm,
people are betting money on you right now to deliver. And
yeah,
I didn't care about the money as much, and nothing really bombed. Nobody lost money too badly. On only on really low budget stuff was like probably by now they've made money on the streaming license. But I only cared about making the audience laugh. Like,
yeah,
give me that, find the line in the scene. There it is. There's the line. And I'll look at the director and I go, I guarantee you I will make the audience laugh. I'll make the editor laugh in dailies. I will make the test audience laugh, and I will make opening night audience laugh at that same exact joke every single time. That's the one thing that my grandfather taught me was like, just zero in, give them something, own it, something, try to figure out a way that they can't cut it out. He did, he said, make 3 friends when you're on a set. The writer, so you have good words to say,
hmm.
the cameraman, so you look good on film, and the editor, so you stay in the picture.
Sweet, wise words indeed. Yeah, but yeah, ending on that then. Keith
Oh, thank you.
Coogan, you're an absolute legend. It's been an absolute pleasure. We can't thank you enough for doing this for us. So,
Thank you for getting back up. Now you can have your second sleep. I
yeah,
appreciate the time. Thank you to everyone who's listening. And let's go to the movies, man.
yeah.
There's a time and a place. I think movies should be seen in a big theater. It's harder and harder to get out, and it costs so much. And we've got such big screens at home, and it's not the same.
No.
It's not the same overhearing someone in the lobby going, "That was crap," or "Wow, God, he's a cad." I love overhearing people talk and get excited. You talk to a total stranger waiting in line in the bathroom. You're like, "That was awesome. Huh? Oh man, dude, the drill in the head. Oh, it was great." I love talking to audience after. So, and keep that physical media going.
Yeah, 100% wise words indeed. So thanks ever so much, Keith Coogan, for doing this. It's an absolute
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.